Welcome to the deep dive. When you hear about Somalia, the global narrative often lands on conflict, on instability.
Right, the security challenge.
Exactly. But our source material today, it just cuts right through that to show this powerful story of transformation, a story being written by women who are rebuilding the Somali police force.
And the justice system. From the ground up, it's a critical perspective shift.
It is.
We're looking beyond the immediate headlines to the really demanding work of building institutions. So our mission today is to unpack the specific roles these women are playing.
And these are high-impact roles.
Absolutely. From intercepting boats at sea to leading specialized anti-violence units and, driving huge reforms in the justice sector.
And the thing is, it's not just about filling a quota. The sources make it so clear that this integration is tied directly to better results, to operational effectiveness.
And safety, community trust, all while they have to overcome these just significant cultural and institutional hurdles every single day.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating is that this shift inside Somalia, it aligns perfectly with major global goals. We're talking SDG 5 for gender equality.
And SDG 16, right, for strong institutions.
Exactly. Peace, justice, strong institutions. And you can see how deliberate this is. The UNODC, for example, adopted its gender equality strategy way back in 2017 to support these kinds of changes.
Okay, so let's unpack this. And I think we have to start right on the front lines where the action is heaviest.
Makes sense.
Because we need to tackle that old stereotype, the one from that 2017 UN Women report, that female officers were, and I'm quoting here, unfit for a hostile environment.
A claim that is just being completely dismantled by the facts on the ground.
Totally.
Just take Nadifo Mohammed Ahmed. She is a genuine pioneer in the Maritime Police Unit, the MPU, in Mogadishu.
And this unit is critical. We're talking about protecting Somalia's entire coastline, a huge economic and security asset.
And she's on the front lines. This is not an administrative job. Her day-to-day work is search and rescue at sea.
Actively saving lives.
Saving lives, intercepting illegal boats. I mean, she's fully operational. She actually says her favorite part of the job is responding to distress calls.
Wow. And how did she get these skills? I mean, operating a patrol boat, that's not something you just pick up.
No, it's from highly specialized training. She learned how to swim, how to drive the boats, how to become a certified coxswain, and she attributes all of it to the UNODC's Global Maritime Crime Program, the GMCP.
And she's put it to use.
Oh, absolutely. She points to a time she saved lives at Lido Beach as her greatest achievement. She says flat out, without that training, she couldn't have done it.
So that unfit for hostile environments idea is just, it's blown out of the water immediately?
Immediately. She's doing this in a force that is, heavily male-dominated, but you can already see the ripple effect.
What do you mean?
Well, she notes that she's already getting questions from other female officers. They're asking her how they can join the MPU.
So she's become a role model.
A very visible one. And she believes with more training, more equipment, she has a clear path to rise up through the ranks. That kind of success, it just breeds more change.
Okay, so from the sea to the streets.
Yeah.
We see the same intensity, the same level of specialization in the Darwish unit.
Yes. The elite police commandos, effectively.
And this is where we meet Maida Abdullahi. She's one of 30 women training for this unit.
Out of 300 officers total. And the training it's lethal. They are mastering tactical operations, threat protection, advanced arms awareness, and importantly, explosive ordnance disposal.
This is high-level stuff.
This is the highest level. And their mission is so strategically important, they deploy into areas just liberated from al-Shabaab.
The goal being to establish civilian rule of law as fast as possible.
Exactly. To transition from military control from the Somali National Army or AMISOM to stable police governance. It's a critical window.
And Maida gives this incredibly sharp rationale for why women are essential in these tactical roles.
She does. She says al-Shabaab exploits cultural norms. They use women to carry weapons, to carry explosives, because they believe male officers won't search them.
So what she's saying is, for the police to be effective, you have to have female officers who can perform those searches, those intercepts.
You must. It moves the whole conversation from equity to a national security imperative. It's not a choice. It's a tactical necessity.
Which, of course, creates its own friction.
Oh, immense friction. Maida says that when other women see them in uniform, the first reaction is shock. They ask things like, why are they not at their homes?
So they're fighting on two fronts, really.
They are, but the ambition is just sky high. We hear from another Darwish officer, Hodan Hassan, who has university degrees. She is ready to deploy and says her goal is to reach the top ranks. Defending her country is a fundamental commitment for her.
That phrase, fundamental commitment, it feels like the thread connecting these new recruits to the veterans, right? The women who were there at the very beginning.
Absolutely. We have to talk about the pioneers because their resilience is it's frankly incredible.
Like Colonel Ramasalad Mohammed. She joined in 2007.
So she was part of the second police force reassembled after the Civil War. They were building an institution from literally nothing.
And her personal story is it's legendary.
It is. She started her training 3 months pregnant, running 10 kilometers every morning in a place where she said lions were still a threat.
Unbelievable.
She and her colleagues rebuilt their own police stations with their bare hands. They guarded peace conferences while under siege from insurgents.
And she was in the thick of it. The story about the 2 assailants.
Yes. She personally stopped 2 armed women who were disguised as vegetable vendors, trying to attack the peace talks. She figures many lives were saved that day. I mean, she has seen it all.
And her pride is so clear in the source material.
Immense pride. And this commitment started even earlier. First Lieutenant Farhayo Ahmed joined in 2006.
The very first batch.
The very first. Only 10 women out of over 600 recruits. And for her, the motivation wasn't about a career. It was seeing the violence against women and children.
She wanted to make it safer for survivors to come forward.
Exactly. She knew victims would be ashamed or terrified to speak to male officers about rape. She wanted to change that.
And that personal mission, it really fueled a major structural reform. This is where we see the move toward specialization.
It paved the way. Farhio's early work created the space for leaders like LT Colonel Idil Abdullah Hassan. She came back to Mogadishu in 2014, saw this huge gap, and founded Somalia's first ever unit dedicated to sexual and gender-based violence, SGBV.
That feels like a real turning point.
It was a system turning point. That department was critical. It shifted the whole approach from just law enforcement to providing survivors with justice, with dignity.
Rebuilding trust.
The most precious commodity. And you can measure the results. Take Captain Fardoso Abdullah Habdidan.
She now heads the National Unit for the Protection of Women and Children.
Right. Handling these incredibly complex cases, FGM, rape, abandoned children. But her impact goes beyond that.
As Deputy Commander in Waberi District.
Yes, which was known for being a very violent area. She started nightly operations, and she proudly reports that for a 6-month period, not a single person was killed in the district.
That's a staggering result.
It's turning fear into actual, palpable safety. And we see similar numbers with Lieutenant Farhayo Ahmed's work.
In the Bay region.
In 2016, she set up the first gender department there. The result: weekly rape reports dropped to about 2 a month. That's a direct link between having female officers and reducing violence.
Which brings us to the core mechanism here. Building community trust.
That's it. Captain Fatima Abdulkadir, who's in Puntland, she puts it very bluntly. She says women officers are less corrupt, more trusted, and better understand the community.
The less corrupt part is huge.
Uh-huh.
In a country rebuilding its institutions, trust is everything.
It is. If women are seen as the most reliable, legitimate face of law enforcement, then their inclusion isn't optional. It's essential for stability.
And you feel that dedication in their words. Captain Samira Nazar, the Somali Norwegian officer.
Yes, with a criminology degree. She's a deputy commander.
She says her police work is a form of worship, a duty to serve your people.
That moral framework, it changes everything.
Let's shift to that, to the institutional leadership, because this isn't just about bravery. It's about education.
Advanced training. Samira Nazar's criminology degree helped her rise quickly. And Captain Fatima, who we just mentioned, she got a law degree through a UNDP scholarship.
So she went from a trainee to a policymaker.
Precisely. And they're deploying this brain power everywhere. First Lieutenant Halim Sadio Yusuf runs the Somali Police Orphanage Care.
Taking care of the children of fallen officers.
Over 300 of them, ensuring they get an education, continuous care. It shows the force is building its own social safety net. It's taking care of its own.
And this all seems to have culminated in a really major milestone for the justice system, the first women-only prison.
Yes, opened just in December 2024 in the Hamar Jajab district of Mogadishu. This is a fundamental reform.
Why is it so significant?
Because before this, female detainees were often held in really terrible conditions, sometimes alongside men. This new facility is designed to safeguard their rights, to provide gender-sensitive care, privacy.
And the person who spearheaded this, Commander Rama Sandir, She sees it as a blueprint for the future.
She does. She sees humane detention as a way to build public trust. It's not just about compliance, it's about being a better, more legitimate institution.
And we should be clear, this transformation isn't happening in a vacuum,
Not at all. There is a huge international support framework. You have the European Union, the UK, the Netherlands funding the Joint Police Program.
which provides training and equipment.
A lot of it. And Japan has its stabilization support program. And then there's the ongoing work of the UNODC, like the maritime training we talked about. They're investing in the skills that allow these women to lead.
So if we just, pull all of this together,
Ah.
the tactical, the social, the institutional, the shift is just, it's monumental.
It really is. We started with that cultural friction, with Maida hearing, why are they not at their homes?
And we end with women like Fardoso, who are aiming to be the Minister of Security one day.
The whole narrative is rewritten. The sources show, again and again, that integrating women is directly linked to those tangible results we've been tracking.
Lives saved, violence reduced, trust strengthened.
Exactly. It's a powerful equation. Individual courage gets translated into effective policy, which then yields real community safety. The courage it takes just to put on that uniform it's immense.
But then you hear them describe their motivation. Captain Samira Nazar calling it a form of worship.
Or Lieutenant Colonel Idil Hassan calling it a national duty carried on your shoulders. It's so much more than a job.
It's a calling.
It is. This deep moral framework, duty, worship, service, that's what's driving this. So that leaves us with, I think, a final thought for you to consider. We've talked about the courage it takes to join, but think about the next layer. If the women who are leading these reforms truly believe their commitment is this morally grounded, how does that ethical bedrock change the very nature of civilian policing in a post-conflict environment? Does it make the force inherently more focused on human dignity and less on just force projection? That's the powerful question their success leads us.